What's up, y'all? It's Three Wheel Khalil, and this week I found myself riding a Can-Am Ryker 600 in Idaho of all places. Now, my personal Can-Am Ryker Rally is a 2019 900 ACE engine, and I've never really had the chance to have extended seat time on a Can-Am Ryker 600. I've never had a problem with them, never thought that they were, seriously underpowered or anything like that. It just was my preference when I purchased to get a Ryker Rally. Now, the first time I rode one was actually prior to me purchasing, and it was in my 3WBRC, or my basic rider course. And this can differ from state to state, but for me, this was the course that I took to get my three-wheel motorcycle license. Now, it's all come full circle because the reason I'm in Idaho riding this Ryker 600 today is actually because I am going through the certification process to be able to teach that same rider course that helped me, and hopefully I'll be able to help others learn how to safely control a motorcycle and enjoy this three-wheel community that we love so much. So the first thing that I noticed about the Can-Am Ryker 600 was definitely the sound of the exhaust. Now, compared to the Ryker 900 or the Ryker Rally, and I can't speak for the Ryker Rally of 2022 with the Akrapovic exhaust, this Ryker 600 actually has one of the sweetest sound signatures when it comes to exhaust. It has a more of a lopey kind of sound, that bop 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 that you might be used to with a traditional motorcycle. And I think it has a really kind of soft grumble to it that is pleasant sounding, and I think you can really bring out the throatiness of that sound if you choose to add an aftermarket exhaust. For myself personally, that trade-off is minor, but it could really give you that feeling of, dang, I really love this bike, even if you don't have all the power that is possible to get on this platform. Now, bringing that to power, the Can-Am Ryker 600 is no slouch. It definitely has the power that you want for around town, any sort of local roads. However, when you get to the freeway, you definitely can reach and achieve freeway speeds without that many issues. It's just the ability to pass rapidly and to bring your speed up very quickly that may leave you wanting a little more. Whereas the ride comfort and the feel of that engine feel very similar to that of the 900. That top end, when you're in speeds of excess of 60 to 65 miles an hour, that's where the difference between those two motorcycles really start to stretch apart. And you really start to see why you might want a 900 if you do that type of riding on a consistent basis. Whereas in my personal life, riding on the freeway was very common when I lived in Florida, whereas in Georgia, my riding is much more focused on being on the outskirts of town, smaller one-lane roads that speed limits are usually no higher than 55. However, I still enjoy the additional power that you get from the Ryker 900, as well as the Ryker Rally and 900 having a little bit more of a playful feeling when you want to break the back end loose at a stoplight, for example. You have a lot more ability to play around in that aspect. Whereas the Ryker 600, it has all the power you need and really nothing else. Now, I say all that to say that I had a blast ripping this little thing around town. It felt fully powered. The ride experience was just as enjoyable as on my 900 on these type of streets, in terms of it felt smooth, it felt stable, I enjoyed riding it. It was well maintained, this particular motorcycle. The controls felt supple, the handlebar felt torqued down perfectly, and so I think that any rider who picks up a Ryker 600, especially never trying the Ryker 900, you would never feel that you were missing something. Again, with the caveat that you don't do a ton of highway commuting, you don't regularly want to get into speeds of above 75 miles an hour. You would love this motorcycle going around town, going on windy roads, up in the mountains. It has enough power to give you that. But when you want just that little bit more, I think you're going to be looking for the Ryker 900. But there are things to love about the 600. And really, to me, that's that exhaust. That's definitely that cheaper price tag. And I think that there is a strong argument to be made about purchasing one of these if you're a couple and you want to bring that overall cost down significantly. Having two Ryker 600s or one 900 and one 600 really makes a lot of sense as you get further into that product line, because the Ryker 600 is a great motorcycle and I would never take anything away from it. And I think the Ryker 900, the Ryker Sport, the Ryker Rally are also all great options, with the caveat that you have to want the things that they're offering. I think the Ryker Rally, this newest edition in 2020, it is exciting me a little bit more and more every day, but I think I'm more excited for what's to come next. Now, if you're worried about power and you're power conscious and you're wondering, will this Ryker satisfy my every need? And for that person, I'd say probably not. Now, out here on this type of a stretch of road where you can really rip this thing, I promise you, you can rip this 600 in a way that will excite you. But you can rip that 900 in a way that will shock you. And I think that's the difference, is that the 600 has a powertrain that inspires confidence, that makes you feel very good about your purchase. But the Ryker 900 and the Ryker Rally, especially when you have it dialed into a sport mode or rally mode, or even going to the far end of the spectrum, tuned, you have more power than you would really ever assume that you were going to get in this form factor on this quote-unquote entry-level machine that is the Can-Am Ryker. I think you will find that all of these motorcycles serve a different purpose, and they do a great job at serving those purposes. But my main conclusion is, if you're looking at the Ryker 600 because it fits one of those bullet points that I was talking about earlier, I don't think you'll be disappointed at all. In this environment that I'm getting to ride this Ryker 600 in, near the mountains, wide open fields, rolling views, big sky, I didn't care that I was on a 600 versus a 900. I cared that I had the power to explore. I cared that I had this ride that allowed me to be in control of my destiny out here in an area that I've never been before, and I felt confident doing so because I had an amazing Ryker to let me do it. I would not trade this ride for a lot of other experiences that I've had in my life, and I say that because it's special to be able to hop on one of these machines out in the wild and really just feel the independence of the open road, because there's something about riding open air, controlling your own destiny, and not being afraid to explore. And so I guess I'll leave you guys with that. Ryker 900, Ryker 600, Ryker Rally, Ryker Sport. Don't be afraid to explore. Remember, life's more fun on three wheels. Peace.